In this video lecture, now we will continue with our study of unit cells and crystal systems, right? And we will also go through Bravais lattices and concept of coordination number in this video lecture, right? Now, just a quick recap. In the previous video lecture, we have understood what is unit cell, right? Unit cell parameters, right? So based on unit cell parameters, we have these 7 crystal systems, right? And any crystal belong to one of these crystal systems, right? So unit cell parameters that will decide the shape and size of the unit cell, right? So based on these axial length and axial angles, we have different shapes, right, of crystals, right? This is what it means. The shape and size of the crystal depends on these axial length and axial angles. So based on different axial length and axial angles, we have different shapes of these crystal systems, right? Now, we have understood that unit cell, there are two types of unit cell. One is your simple or primitive unit cell, in which the particles are located at the corners of the cube, right? Then the second is your central unit cell. Central unit cell or non-primitive unit cell is that unit cell in which particle is also present at the center, right? Center of the cube or center of the face. That comes under your centered unit cell, because the particle is present at the center, so we call it a centered unit cell, or we call it a non-primitive unit cell. Now the centered unit cell is further divided into face centered, body centered, edge centered, depending on in which center, in which face of the at the center of which face the particle is present. This centered unit is divided into face centered. Face center means this is the face center, right? When particles in addition to at the corners is also present at the center of the face of the cube, right? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 faces in the cube. So one particle at the center of each face, right? In case of face centered. In case of body centered, one particle would be present at the center of this cube, right? Here, this black dot represents the particle that is at the center. Similarly, edge center is when the particle is present at the opposite faces of the cube, right? These two are opposite faces of the cube. When particle is present at the center of these two opposite faces, we call it a edge center, right? Now, this is we have studied in our previous lectures, right? Now, if you look at these diagrams, right? These diagrams, these three diagrams of simple, face centered and body centered, these diagrams show how these particles, in this diagram we have represented the particles of the solid in the form of these black dots, right? These black dots. But you can see that there is a lot of space between black dots, right? But actually in the solids the particles are not this much far apart, right? So how particles are exactly packed in the solid, right, is actually represented by these diagrams, right? So these diagrams are showing you that how particles actually exist in the solid, or how they are actually packed in the solid, right? If you look at the first diagram, okay, here particles are represented by dots, right? These are known as open structures, right? Here particles are represented by spheres, right? These are known as space filling structures, right? This because space filling is because these diagrams will tell you how exactly the space is filled up with these particles, right, in the solid, right? Space filling, we'll understand this in more detail in future video lectures. So here if you look at this, the spheres, these red spheres and black spheres which are behind, since this is in 3 dimension, these are 3-dimensional diagrams. So these red spheres are in the front, and these similarly rest of the 8 spheres that are behind these red spheres, right, are shown in black, right? So it's similar to this. It's similar to this, where four particles are present at the front of the cube, right? If you look at it in 2 dimensions, or this is 3-dimensional diagram, you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 is missing here. So 8 particles in the open structure, right? So how we can represent these 8 particles in this body filling structures? By drawing 4 spheres, right? Red and black spheres represents the how particles are closely packed in the solid, right? Similarly, if you look at this face centered, if you look at the open structure of face centered, right, you see that at every face of this cube you have 1 particle, right? So here 4 particles, right, at the corner. Similarly, you have 4 particles which is at the back side of it, right, in 3 dimensions, and 1 particle is at the center of every face. 1 particle which is at the center of every face is represented by these green spheres, right? So green spheres, 1 is at the body center, 1 is at the center of this cube, right? And each particle, each sphere, here we will say each sphere is also present at every face of this cube, right? Similarly, body centered, we said that 1 particle at the center of this cube, right, will represent body centered, right? So here this green sphere represents 1 particle or sphere, 1 particle which is at the center of this body centered structure, right? Body centered structure of this sphere, right? Now let's understand the concept of coordination number, right? If you look at this, at these 2 structures, the particles which are at the corners, right, in both these structures FCC and BCC, the particles which are at the corners are not touching one another, right? You can see these 2 red circles or red spheres are not touching one another. Here also these 2 red spheres are not touching one another. But let's check these spheres which are at present at the center of each face. If you look at this, the sphere which is at the center of this FCC structure, all the spheres, right, are touching this particular sphere, right, which is at the center, right? And every sphere which is at the corner, right, is touching the one that is at the center, and at the same time, if you will check, this is also touching the spheres which are at the other centers, right? So one sphere, this one which is at the corner, is touching 2 spheres which are at the center of these faces and at the center of this sphere. So in all, this particle or sphere which is at the corner is touching 3 spheres, right? Similarly, if you look at this is also touching the one at the center and the 2 at these faces, at the center of these 2 faces. So here every sphere at center touches 3 other spheres, right? So here this sphere at the corner has 3 other spheres which are touching it, right? So these are its closest neighbors, right? This is the concept of coordination number. So coordination number in these cases is the number of spheres, right, that are touching one particular sphere. If you want to find the coordination number of this particular sphere, it is the number of spheres that are touching this particular sphere. So this particular sphere is being touched by 1 2 3 spheres. So 3 is the coordination number. Coordination number is the number of nearest neighbors, right? So these are the nearest neighbors which are touching it, right? So this is the coordination number, right? If you look into the structure of solid, this is how coordination number is represented or looks like, because we have studied in the definition that coordination number is the number of nearest neighbors. So these are the number of nearest neighbors that are touching it. Nearest neighbors means they should be touching that particular sphere or particle, right? So this is the concept of coordination number. And if you look at this diagram, the BCC, in BCC you see that every sphere at the corner is touching the sphere that is at the center, right? So in body centered cube, all the spheres at the corners touch the central sphere, right? Similarly, if we have discussed that in face centered cube, each sphere at the corner touches 3 spheres present at the face centers, of 3 adjoining faces. So this type of arrangement extends. This is nothing but, these diagrams are representing the unit cells, right? And we know that unit cell is the smallest part of the crystal lattice, right? Or we may also say unit cell is the basic structure that shows how particles are closely packed in the crystal, right? So this one unit cell represents the complete picture of the solid, how particles are arranged in the solid, right? So this type of structure extends throughout the crystal, right? And this tells us how particles are packed in the crystal, right? So from here we are now clear with the coordination number. If you find the coordination number of this sphere which is at the corner, it's 1, because only one sphere which is at the center is touching it, right? So 1 is the coordination number for that. So coordination number, remember, coordination number is the closest nearest neighbors that are touching that particular particle or sphere for which you are trying to find the coordination number, right? Now we have understood about this unit cell, right? And based on the axial length and axial angles, we have different shapes and sizes of the unit cells, right? So based on different axial length and axial angles, as these axial distance and axial angles, we have these different shapes and sizes of the unit cells, which are 7 crystal systems, right? So these are 7 crystal systems, and any crystal must belong to one of these crystal systems, right? Now let's look at this cubic. In cubic, all the axial lengths and all the axial angles are equal. All axial angles are equal to 90 degree, right? This is the most symmetrical and the most simple of the crystal systems, right? So this cubic crystal system, the particles, this crystal system is nothing but a unit cell, right? So in this unit cell, cubic crystal system, the particles can be arranged in 3 different ways, right? Simple primitive, face centered, and body centered, right? So the different ways in which particles can be arranged in a crystal system, right, is known as Bravais lattice, right? The name Bravais was of a crystallographer, right, who after geometrical consideration have reached to the conclusion that the particles, right, in the crystal lattices, particles in all the crystal lattices can be arranged in 14 different ways, right? So we have 14 different crystal lattices, right? I'll repeat this. The scientist Bravais, right, who was a crystallographer, based on geometric consideration, said that particles in any crystal lattice, we know that what is crystal lattice? Crystal lattice is the arrangement. Crystal lattice shows us how particles in a crystal are arranged, right? So how particles there are depending on all these geometrical shapes, right, of unit cells, what Brevis said, that considering all these geometries, right, based on his all geometrical considerations, he said that there are 14 different ways, right, in which the particles in the crystal lattices can be arranged, right. 14 different ways in which particles in a crystal lattices can be arranged. That is, crystal lattice is what? Arrangement of particles in three-dimensional space, and that arrangement represents how particles in a crystals are arranged, right. So we have 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in three-dimensional in the crystal lattice, right. So we have, in short, we say that we have 14 crystal lattices, right, 14 different crystal lattices based on the observations and work done by Brevis, who was a crystallographer. Crystallographer is the one who studies about crystals, about the various interfacial angles of the crystals, right. So we say there are 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in crystal lattice, right. So these 14 different ways, right. So we have, that means we have 14 crystal lattices, right, which are known as Brevis lattices in honor of crystallographer Brevis, right. So we have, that is we have 14 Brevis lattices, right. We have 14 Brevis lattices. Now let's understand more what these Brevis lattices are. If you talk about simple cubic, this is a crystal system which is a unit cell, right. It depends on the axial angles and axial length of the unit cell. If all the axial length and axial angles are equal, we have a crystal system that corresponds to cubic crystal system, right. And in cubic crystal system, let's see in how many ways, right, we can arrange particles, right, as considered by Brevis. If you look at this geometrical figure, cube, right, where all the axial length and axial angles are equal, right, we find that there are these three different ways, right, in which particles in a simple cube can be arranged, right. One is simple, in which particles are at the corners. One is face centered, in which one sphere or particle is at the center of every face. One is body centered, in which particle is present at the center of the cube, right. So we have three ways in which particles can be arranged in cubic crystals, right. So we say that we have three lattices. In short, we say that there are three lattices of cubic crystal systems, right. One particular arrangement corresponds to one lattice, right. If we know this is a unit cell, right, and simple cubic lattice would be made up of these unit cells, these infinite number of unit cells, right. This one small unit cell, if we keep repeating in all directions in three dimensionals, what we get is a crystal lattice, right. Similarly, if we repeat this FCC, we get a face centered cubic lattice. Similarly, body centered cubic lattice will body centered cubic unit cell, on repeating in all three directions, all three dimensions, will give body centered cubic lattice. So we have, out of 14, 3 belongs to this cubic crystal systems, right. Now similarly, if we talk about rhombic, right, rhombic, or we also call it as orthorhombic. In case of orthorhombic, we have simple, we have face centered, end centered, and body centered. Right? We have four. You can see that in case of rhombic, we also call it as orthorhombic. We have 4 unit cells. Right? 4 unit cells means there are 4 ways in which particles can be arranged in this orthorhombic crystals. 4 ways in which particles can be arranged in orthorhombic means we have 4 types of crystal lattices. So out of these 14, 4 belongs to orthorhombic, right? And make sure you just understand these also, the axial distance and axial angles. Now if we talk about monoclinic, right, we have 2 in monoclinic and 2 in tetragonal, right? There are 2 ways in which particles can be arranged in monoclinic, right? So we have 2 in monoclinic, 2 similar unit cells you get here, right? And one more thing I missed here, in orthorhombic you have edge centered also, right? In addition to these 3, simple, FCC, BCC, you have ECC also in case of orthorhombic, right? Now if we talk about monoclinic, in case of monoclinic crystal systems, we have 2 types of arrangements, right? That is 2 ways in which particles can be arranged, right? We have simple and body centered, right? In case of monoclinic, we have simple, right, and BCC. S I'm writing for simple, and BCC is body centered, right? So monoclinic have 2 unit cells that can be drawn, 2 unit cells can be drawn for monoclinic. That means we have 2 types of crystal lattices that belong to monoclinic crystal systems, right? Now if we talk about tetragonal again, tetragonal have simple and body centered again, right? Tetragonal also have 2 crystal systems, or 2 crystal lattices, 2 crystal lattices, simple, right, and BCC, body centered, right? Now the next one is your hexagonal. For hexagonal has just one arrangement, right? So hexagonal has just one crystal lattice, right? This is your simple, right? This is your simple, only simple, right? So there is only one way in which particles can be arranged in this geometry, which is hexagonal, right? Which is the particles can be arranged only at the corners of the hexagon. Now coming on to rhombohedral, or we also call it as trigonal, right? In rhombohedral or trigonal, again we have only one way. In rhombohedral there is only one way, which is again simple, in which particles can be arranged, right? So in rhombohedral geometry there is only one way, only one crystal lattice, and that is your simple. That is, particles can be arranged only at the corners of the trigonal or rhombohedral geometry, right? Now triclinic, we know that this is least symmetric, because all axial distance and all axial angles are different, right? So the way particles can be arranged in triclinic is again simple, right? Only one way, that is your simple arrangement, right? So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 4 in rhombic, 11, 3 in cubic, 14. So in total there are 14 crystal lattices, right? That is, these are the 14 different ways, right? 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged, right, in lattices, right? Particles can be arranged in 3 dimensions based on these geometries, right? Considering all these geometrical figures, there are total 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in 3 dimensions. So the arrangement of particles in 3-dimensional gives you a crystal lattice. That means we have 14 different crystal lattices, right, in these 7 crystal systems, right? And we have already discussed how many crystal lattice belongs to which crystal system. Just remember that. And remember all these angles, like in rhombohedral we have one angle which is less than 120 and one is gamma is 120. Just remember all these things, right? So these are 14 crystal lattices, right? 14 different crystal lattices discovered or given by Bravais, right? Based on his observations, right? On all these geometries, right? Now, so that is why we call it as Bravais lattices, right? Which are 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in 3 dimensions, right? These are Bravais lattices, right? So now we are clear about, let's just quickly recap. This is your unit cell, right? Unit cell based on different axial length and axial angles, right? We have these 7 types of unit cells, right? Because if you vary these angles and these axial length, you get different shapes, right? And we said that the shape and size of unit cells depends on these 2 parameters, right? Axial length and axial angles. So these are 7 crystal systems, right? And any crystal system will belong to one of these system, right? Any crystal will belong to one of these crystal systems out of these 7 crystal systems, right? Now coming on to what are lattices, right? Lattice is the arrangement of particles in space in 3 dimensions, right? The arrangement of particles in 3 dimensions will give you a crystal lattice, right? So if you look at the first unit cell or the crystal system, cubic, right? It has 3 crystal lattices. That means there are 3 different ways in which these cubic systems can arrange its particles, right? 3 ways, 3 crystal lattices, right? Similarly, rhombic, and these 3 are simple, body centered and face centered. Similarly, in rhombic crystal systems, we have 4 ways in which particles can be arranged in 3 dimensions, right? Here one additional is this one, edge centered crystal system, right? Similarly, in different crystal systems, we have number of ways in which these particles can be arranged, right? So we have in total 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in these 7 crystal systems. These 14 different ways are your 14 crystal lattices, which are called as the Bravais, which are known as Bravais lattices. Why? Because this observation, right, is done by Bravais based on his geometrical considerations, right? He considered all these geometries and said that there are 14 different ways in which particles can be arranged in 3 dimensions. So we have 14 crystal lattices which are known as Bravais lattices, right? I hope this is clear. Then we have a small concept, or we have gone through a small concept of coordination number. So these are known as space filling structures, and these are open structures. In these space filling structures shows how exactly particles are closely packed in a crystal system, right, in a solid, right, basically. So the number of spheres that a particular sphere at the corner is touching is its closest neighbor, and closest neighbor is your coordination number. So coordination number is the number of spheres that a particular coordination number of a particular sphere at the corner is the closest number of spheres that are touching it, right, which is your coordination number, right? I hope all this is clear to you, right? So after this, in the next video lecture, we will go through how particles are packed in different how particles are packed in solids, right? We will go through the close packing or the how particles are exactly, these spheres are exactly packed in